when my family literally blindfolded me. It took it very literal.
Yeah, they blindfolded you, they poured you, I think, like Carlo Rossi, and then Dark Horse and Apothic, and then blended them. Still blindfolded.
I think Palazzo del Torre might have been in there.
Oh, PDT, yeah. You would have known that one blind, definitely.
Yeah, I still would.
Corvina really stands out. Oh, that's sick. Awesome.
Who wants to be the next Italian wine ambassador? Join an exclusive network of 400 Italian wine ambassadors across 48 countries. Vinitaly International Academy is coming to Chicago on October 19th to 21st, and to Almaty, Kazakhstan from November 16th to 18th. Don't miss out. Register now at vinitaly.com.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. This is the next generation with me, your host, Mckenna Cassidy. For the next 30 minutes, I invite you to explore with me what young adults are up to in the Italian wine scene. Today, let's feast on our discussion of Italian wine, travel, food, and culture. Thank you for being here. Grab a glass with us. Chin chin.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Mckenna from the next generation of the Italian Wine Podcast, and I'm with Tatum Petruzzello, coming in from New Jersey. Hi, Tatum.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us today. I'm calling you from Chicago, so it's a great joy. And we have so much to talk about for the community listening or perhaps viewing. I know we're recording this video for the podcast going live on Instagram, but Tatum and I have worked together in the past, and we've gone to different directions of the wine industry now, and it's such a treat to see all the new stuff going on. So Tatum, if you would be so kind as to tell us kind of who you are, where you are, and what you're up to in the wine scene.
All right. So I have been in the wine industry for about 13 years now. It was one of my first or second jobs out of college. And I knew nothing about wine when I started, absolutely nothing at all. So when I started, I felt really dumb and nervous. So I really dove into the knowledge end of the business. So I started by getting my Specialist of Wine certification. Then I did Specialist of Spirits, and then dove into the world of the Guild of Master Sommeliers. So did Intro Somm, Certified Somm, really fell in love with Italian wines. So trailed off into the Italian Wine Scholar program and becoming Italian wine trade certified.
That's awesome.
So now currently I work on the private client services team at Zachy's, which is a high-end wine retailer in the U.S. And then I also just opened my own wine shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, featuring Alba wines.
Congratulations, it's so huge. I know you said you fell in love with Italian wine. Like, what captivated you about it? Why was it worth further study for you?
So my family is, my grandparents are from Italy. So I think I just gravitated naturally towards it. Although I did not come from a wine drinking family whatsoever, I think I just naturally gravitated towards it. I lived in Italy for a little while with a family doing an exchange program when I was younger. And I've traveled to Italy many times and just absolutely love the country, love the food. Loving the wine goes hand in hand with loving the food. So I think it was just a natural gravitation. And not to mention they make phenomenal wines in Italy.
It's true. That's awesome. I remember, Tatum, the video of you like blind tasting 3 popularly priced wines and then accurately blind tasting them all mixed together. Your Italian family.
Yes. When my family literally blindfolded me. It took it very literal.
Yeah, they blindfolded you, they poured you, I think, like Carlo Rossi, and then Dark Horse and Apothic, and then blended them. Still blindfolded.
I think Palazzo del Torre might have been in there.
Oh, PDT, yeah. You would have known that one blind, definitely.
Yeah, I still would.
Corvina really stands out. Oh, that's sick. Awesome. Where should we go first? Let's talk briefly about Zachy's, and then we'll dive into everything with your wine cafe. So I know that you were kind of sharing with me before we started the pod that private client sales are often to consult members of an older generation who have the finances to support significant wine sales. And they are buying perhaps popular brands. And so I was wondering if you could tell us about like Zachy's selling approach and then your service to those private clients and kind of how that works, just for context.
Absolutely. So Zachy's is very multifaceted. We have a brick and mortar store location, and that services obviously clients in that area. But then we have a very wide reach on the website. And then what I do is private client services, where I work directly with clients and I manage their accounts for them. So I'll send them early access to when Sasokai is released or Ornellaia is released. 2019 Brunellos were a huge focus for us, obviously a great vintage. So I will work with these clients directly to service their needs and get to know them on a one-on-one basis so I can better serve them. Zachy's also does storage, which is very important to temperature control the wines. So we have some clients that basically just store their wines with us because they don't have a big enough cellar or big enough wine fridge. And we'll keep their wines and they can just pull from that whenever they're ready to pull from that. And then when all of that is finalized, we also do auctions. So people might collect with us for years, and then we will go and do auctions, and we sell wines on behalf of our clients as well. So auction is a great space. You can get some really great wines that are aged, back to the 50s and 60s are some of the older ones that I've seen. And you have ability to get these, which you would not be able to get anywhere else. So it's really cool. They definitely have all their bases covered from start to finish.
That's so amazing. Where is the storage taking place?
The storage is in Port Chester, New York.
Okay, wonderful. And that's convenient because then it's coming from where the warehouse is anyway. So it's easy for someone to just request that it be stored. What are so for the 2019 Brunellos, like what were some of the hits?
I personally love the Lacini was one of my favorites. The Casanova de Neri, all of their vineyards were great. Love those. I think some of the more value ones, the Chiachi was really great. I loved the Argiano that I got to try on the heels of the number one wine in the world, which is funny because 18 wasn't the greatest vintage in Brunello, but now 19 is a stellar vintage. So all of those were some of my personal favorites when I got to taste through.
That's so cool. Does you and your team taste when you go to the office and then you're able to consult appropriately?
Yes, we taste a lot. It's a huge bulk of what we do when we're in the office. We have a lot of trainings, which is amazing. We have a lot of winemakers that come through. Zachy's is definitely a recognizable name for being a powerhouse, not just in the United States. We have offices in Hong Kong. I have some clients abroad. So it's a very recognizable name, very respected name. And we get a lot of people that come in from the wineries directly to train us and speak with us.
That's pretty awesome. And then do you kind of collaborate with people in the younger generation at all? Or how would you say that Zachy's is marketing towards the next generation of wine drinkers as well?
I think that's a really big focus for us now. The collectors are, I would say, of an older generation. So for younger, right now, I think Zachy's is really trying to focus on how do we grab new, how do we get the attention of this younger generation. And I think they're just exploring all avenues. I think the younger generation likes a little bit of lower alcohol, a little bit more obscurity, and not just going to those big names over and over and over again. So I think everybody in the wine industry is aware of this and trying to figure out the best ways to cater to the younger generation.
That's sweet. I was just talking about that with Dan Petrosky. He was here working with me in Chicago, and it's the cultural space that Masakan is designed for, which is lower ABV, high acid whites of interesting grape varieties. The 84-year-old Tokai Friulano vines that he's farming in like the Chiles Valley area are like I've never seen a thicker trunk on a grapevine in my life.
I actually drank Masakan last night.
Oh, great. It was like a tree, and the bunches were at least like 1.5 feet long. It was like It was so cool. And that vine was planted when Tokai was not trendy. Like, it was just faster winemaking post-war than red wine. And so it just was like, it's just amazing. And the wines are really hitting it off here. So I feel like that's definitely a space that people are interested in. And then what do you think is the value if there's some wines that are of such high caliber that aging is recommended? How would you, if you were to share with the next generation, like the value of aging wine, how do you help that make sense to them?
Yeah, it's tough too because I want to drink things the second I get them. It's exciting. I have my cellar's around 500 bottles, and I still buy something and want to drink that bottle immediately instead of the other ones that are ready to drink. I don't know why.
Already acquired.
Yeah. If it's financially available to you, I always tell people to buy a few bottles. And if you can't wait, you can crack that one open now and then put 2 away and forget about them. If you can do 6, even better. If something comes in the original wood packaging, that's even better because you can kind of hide them places and forget a little bit about them. And I would say what I'm learning is how much wine can actually be an investment. But that investment does take time and energy. You have to store it properly. We all know wine will go bad if it gets too hot, too cold. So it is important that it's stored correctly. But I do see a lot of people's investments pay off when maybe they bought something in the 90s that a red Burgundy in the 90s might have cost you $40 a bottle. And now, and this is not an exaggeration, they'll go for $1,000 a bottle. And that's not every single wine. that's not every wine in every single category. But it is interesting to look at the investments that people made 20 years ago that are now paying off huge in wine. And then I think there's other people that had a really big interest in, maybe they had a big interest in Spanish wine, and now they've moved on and they don't really love Spanish wine anymore, but they have this huge collection. Well, now they can go sell that off instead of having to drink through something they don't like, give it away. You have that option of being able to sell it off. So I think my advice for holding on to wine is to, one, do your research on what's actually going to age and keep an eye on it. I think Cellar Tracker is a really good website to use. You just pop things in and it kind of does the work for you. You remember what you have. You can look at the drinking windows and the recommended drinking times. So you're not afraid to open something thinking it's too young. That's very helpful. And then just knowing what's not going to age. Be able to know, I'm going to drink this Valpolicella really early. I'm going to drink this Pecorino next week. I think it's a balance of both, being able to get those that you want to lay down and store and put away. And then there's the other ones that you just want to pop open on a Tuesday and not worry about.
Yeah. What do you feel like is an underrated age-worthy wine from Italy?
Underrated age-worthy? Underrated. Honestly, anything from Tuscany. Anything from Tuscany. I think Tuscan wines get drank really early. Not Brunello.
Yeah.
Super Tuscans. I think Super Tuscans tend to get drank early because they are delicious early. But they do have a great window. I think one of my favorite wines that I've had is the 1992 Massetto. Really one of the most amazing wines. We did a dinner. We did 95 Ornellaia, which was phenomenal. But the 92 Massetto was just next level. It was amazing.
Wow. Was it just expressing more depth and different types of flavors than you had experienced?
It just had so much texture, so much flavor to it, and so much complexity. And then in the same night, we had tasted the 2009 Massetto out of a Magnum, and it was amazing. And then we had the 92 about an hour later, and it made you just completely forget about how good the 9 was because the fruit had all gotten so integrated. I just remember this really great kind of like orange peel flavor on the finish that I just was in love with. And there definitely was not enough to go around for me to have as much as I wanted to, which would have been 7 glasses probably.
That sounds so amazing. And I know you'd mentioned too, tell me about Lodovico and Antinori and how you met him and like what that interaction was like.
So it was actually at those dinners that we got to have those wines. And it was really cool. Lodovico had produced this new project called Lodovico, which is a Super Tuscan. His first release, I believe, was the 20 vintage. And it is supposed to be his swan song into retirement. This is going to be his final project. The wines were phenomenal. Although we got to have the 92, I mean, we did a wide range of 92 all the way to 2020, I'm sorry, 2020. Yeah, I'm saying it right. It's, I haven't had coffee yet.
Oh gosh, it's so late in the day.
I know it is. I still haven't had coffee. So we got to have this wide range, and it just really showcased his ability to make wines. He has not made Maceto or Ornellaia since, I don't want to quote an exact year because I'm not positive of the year. So Lodovico was his dive back into the winemaking world, and the wine was phenomenal.
Oh, outstanding. And you're sitting in a room filled with wine. So tell us where you are and what's going on with this beautiful space.
Yeah, so I'm at my I call it a wine cafe. So I'm at Baker's Wine Cafe. I own this. I started it. Actually, we opened about 6 weeks ago. It's been packed, busy. I partnered up with another local family in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and they are doing wood-fired pizza. They are from Italy as well, and the oven that we have actually came directly from Naples. So it's Naples-style pizza. They do the pizza, I do the wine, and New Jersey, if anybody doesn't know about New Jersey liquor laws, they are intense. It's very difficult to get a license. So the license that I was able to get was a New Jersey winery license. Being with my background in wine, being a sommelier, and being admittedly a little wine snobby, I had to partner with the right winery that I felt made really great wines. So New Jersey has really interesting weather. In the spring, it could go from being 80 to being 40 within a span of 24 hours. So those shifts in temperature are really difficult for grape growing. And we are the garden state, so we have great soil for growing corn and tomatoes. But that's just it. We have great soil. Grapes don't like grapes. Well, grapes love great soil, but we don't love the wine that's produced from great soil. So you have to get to some terrain where you're going to struggle a little bit. So I ended up coming into a partnership with Alba. They are in the Warren Hills AVA, which I believe they were the first AVA in New Jersey. There might be one other, but they were the first actual American viticultural area in New Jersey. And they have great soil, very rocky. Their entire terrace is built from rocks that they pulled from their soil, which are these huge limestone rocks.
Wow.
And they have different planting aspects. So they have hills, they have little valleys, they have the grapes planted in the direction that they're going to get the most sunlight. And they are the only Pinot Noir that I've had in New Jersey that should not be arrested for making Pinot Noir. Their Pinot Noir is delicious. Somebody last night compared it to a Pinot Noir from Oregon, which was very flattering. But we have their wines there. We offer wine flights where you can sample any four. And then we do buy the bottle offerings as well. So ranging from rosé to single plot Cabernet Franc. And I think the wines are great.
That's pretty amazing. And you have a waiting line every night, it sounds like.
We have been very busy, which we are very fortunate to be busy so early on. We have a great community. The community in Point Pleasant is amazing. It's a great sense of family here, a great sense of loving being local to here. So people like supporting local businesses and family-owned businesses. So it's been great. And not only is ours family-owned, but Alba's also family-owned. It's just a husband, wife, and their two sons. And the sons are kind of taking over. So it's great to work with them. They're a great family. And it's a beautiful winery. And when people... They can come here and they can drink the wines. They can go to the vineyard and enjoy sitting in a beautiful vineyard covered in these gigantic stones
that they've harvested from their land. And what's the demographic that hits you up at Baker's Wine Cafe? Is it like both older people and younger people, or a mix?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. We have indoor and outdoor seating, and then we also have a little lounge area. And I think the lounge area plays more towards the younger crowd. Like a couch, a lower table, and just kind of some comfy chairs to hang out in. We got one review saying it is a Friends cafe vibe. Like, you know, the show Friends, the show Friends, which I love that because that's kind of what I was going for.
Nice.
So I love being here. I love talking to everybody, and we've had just really great people come through and be excited for us and just enjoying themselves.
This is awesome. You're going to have to do a case study on like the different cheeses on the Neapolitan crust and how it pairs with the wines, like a master.
Oh, the pizza's so good. I have a gluten allergy and I crack sometimes because I can't take it. It's so good.
I can't believe you are making that pizza in an establishment where you work and you have a gluten allergy.
Oh,
like you're going to have to import
There's other
flour.
things I could eat, but they actually have limoncello wings, which are amazing.
How are those achieved?
So they're done. They're still done in the wood-fired oven.
Okay.
And he makes a limoncello sauce. I don't know exactly how he does it, but it tastes like chicken franchise on a wing, kind of. But it's delicious.
God, that sounds amazing. I know your cafe is named after your puppy, and you loved Baker so much. Did Baker ever eat the Italian foods that you fed him, and would he approve of the limoncello?
Yes, Baker loved tomatoes. Baker loved tomatoes.
He was the perfect dog.
Big tomato eater. Yes. I think he would eat any pizza that you put in front of him. So I think he would approve.
That's awesome. And your family, I'm sure, adores the cafe. And what do you picture like in the winter? Are you gonna like do any special features or activities to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to have some live music. I think we're going to do some maybe trivia nights, maybe bingo nights. I don't know, something like that.
Nice.
And then we'll try and make some seasonal specials. I do pictures of sangria, so maybe some seasonal sangrias and things like that.
Yeah.
And I also offer mocktails. So I know that there's a big wave of Gen X specifically that doesn't drink anymore, but still wants to be in social settings and feel like they're included. So I have a line of mocktails as well. I do like a mojito, an island spritz, a Cosmo, all 0 proof alcohol, a lime margarita, all 0 proof alcohol, which I have been going really well because a group will come in and half will get a flight and half will get a mocktail, and it's very accommodating.
Yeah.
And I also want to add some wine education series in the fall. I think people are interested in learning more about wine, and I've always prided myself on speaking about wine in a very relatable way.
You do, and
I would like to kind of branch out with that.
You would be killer at that, and I think the next generation too is somewhat concerned about formality, and you're really good at engaging people with just kind of frank terms. Like, you have no fear surrounding the wine, and you understand that it's fermented grape juice from a place made by a person, and so explaining that makes it all the more simple.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be so nice. Well, I hope to visit and attend one of these awesome classes.
We can't wait to see you.
I can't wait either. Thank you so much for sharing with us about your experience at Zachy's and in the Italian wine scene. And congratulations again on your new cafe. I think it's going to be the top place in Point Pleasant any day now.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned each week for new episodes of Masterclass US Wine Market with me, Juliana Colangelo. And remember, if you enjoyed today's show, hit the like and follow buttons wherever you get your podcasts.